innovation and the youth, those two go hand in hand together. And we are seeing especially a lot right now with the COVID-19 crisis, with what the youth are doing and what we're able to do through the innovation in our various businesses and jobs. Now I'm super excited because it is time for conversations. And the young man I'm going to be talking to today is going to be telling us a lot about youth and innovation and how it can help us help our communities during this COVID-19 time. So let's go and let's have a chat with him. I'm having a conversation with Brian Mwau today. You guys know him. He's come to the show before. I'm super excited because we are going to be talking about innovation. Na kama mnajua innovation hata hapa venye naongea na nyinyi. Sasa niko nyumbani, that is also innovation. So Brian Mwau is the lead developer. It is an awesome recruitment platform if you are looking for somebody to hire or you're looking for a job and you're hoping somebody hires you. But he is also the cybersecurity division lead at Tribus. So Tribus is under the Centum Investments bracket. Hi, Brian. How are you?
Hi, Susan.
So nice of you to join us.
And thank you again for choosing to have me again. It's always a pleasure.
Yeah, man. You are Jiri, guys. You're part of the fam.
Yeah, strong. Youth
yes.
Power.
So for starters, let me actually just ask you about Ajiri. How has it been? Are you keeping up with your colleagues working from home? Are you guys busy with recruitment, or have things gone down? Because we're all talking about job losses.
Yes, absolutely. The security and the health of our colleagues comes first. And I think for the last 4 weeks now, they've been working from home. But again, Ajiri, we've been performing, and actually I've been telling people it's been one of the best and the most busiest season that we've had. The last 3 weeks have been really busy for us. We've been carrying on recruitment for our partners. We've been hiring very many youth. I think in the last 3 weeks, we've recruited over 900 youth across the country.
900 youth in the last 3 weeks.
Correct. Wow. I think that we haven't done, actually the last 3 weeks, what we've done in the last 3 weeks was one of the most busiest seasons compared to what has been our experience since the year began.
Wow,
yes.
That is so cool. You tell us a little bit about that, because you'll explain what you've seen. What is the pattern that you've seen in the recruitment, and what kind of jobs that you're giving to this youth. But kudos to you, man. You guys should get a thumbs up from GOK. That's really good to hear, because the other communication that we are getting is, of course, a lot of people are receiving letters for unpaid leave because the employers can't afford to keep them. Businesses are closing, people have to close their shops because they can't make rent money. So it's tough. And even for us with our Mama Bonga and hand-to-mouth economy, markets are not running as well. So it's a whole mess. But tuliambiwa hata huyo mama amevaa vegetables avae mask akikuzia, si ndio? So it's good to know. That's good to hear. So with Ajiri, you're saying that you guys have recruited so many people. Have you seen a pattern of it being certain counties? Have you seen a pattern of it being particular jobs?
Yes, I think we've noticed there's a pattern, because now that movement has been limited, and most of the people have been told to work from home. I think at this time there's been a high demand of companies looking for people who can help them do online sales and online marketing for their products, and people who are techie, conversant, and people who are able to take advantage of the internet and take advantage of resources available online, so as to be able to sustain their and to make sure that their revenues keep on regenerating. And we've realized that most of the jobs that are actually hiring at the moment, 90% of the jobs have been, 70% of the jobs have been in the health sector. I think they have been recruiting most guys to work both as volunteers and also to work as interns in terms of assisting the medical team that has been really supporting our great nation. And also we've also been engaged in hiring of by different partners in hiring of drivers. I believe they all know reasons why they're hiring the drivers. As Ajiri, we only specialize what are your requirements, and we get the people who meet your requirements as an employer. And then
Yeah.
also we've realized also companies are highly recruiting people to assist them, as I mentioned earlier, on online sales and online marketing, because they still have to pay their bills, they still have to make their profit because of the security of their shareholders, I believe, and stakeholders.
That is very, very, very true. I agree. Well, thank you. The drivers and the delivery people, we all know. I was nuts enough to start a business during this COVID-19. My business is 4 weeks old. And
Wow.
um, I'm doing a delivery service. So I also found that it's very, very, very handy. And it's also a very good way to make sure that whatever it is you're sending to a customer, they are sure it's sanitize, or they can sanitize as soon as they get it. It's much easier with delivery than if the person physically comes in the space, because you have no control over space you're going to. But kama unaletewa to your doorstep, it's very different.
Correct.
Okay,
Correct.
that's very cool. And
In,
as for
in,
counties, is it mainly
as
Nairobi with the online movement, or are you guys seeing activity from everywhere?
No, actually, we are doing activities from everywhere. Like for example, some of the counties that highly rely on agriculture, agribusiness. For
Mm-hmm.
example, like Nakuru County, we've had to recruit delivery people for the companies that sell farm products. We've also done some recruitment bits in Makueni County. We've also monitored and seen a high demand in also Kisumu County and Bungoma County. Yes, so it's across the country, but the leading counties again, it's Nairobi, Nakuru, and most of the metropolitan cities is where the demand is high, especially on the drivers and delivery people.
Right, okay. That's first of all so good to know. So for all our viewers who are watching us and are tweeting us using the hashtag KTN Life and Style, you better head on over to Ajiri. Kama wewe unajua unaweza kuendesha gari, kama unaweza kuendesha bodaboda, or you have knowledge in online marketing, if you can help somebody upgrade their business and join the online world, there are opportunities. So that's good to know that it's not all downhill. You know, it's
Yeah, and also maybe
majority of
to
the
add
news
on,
is depressing. Everything is going down.
yeah. And maybe also to add on, sorry to cut you short, Susan. Also, we've noticed that even on our Ajiri platform, we normally have My Hustle button where small business startups upload their items to do
Uh-huh.
online sales.
Oh,
We've
cool.
realized also for the last couple of weeks, it
Mhm.
has been the most busy season for people transacting there. We've monitored, so far we've had more than 10,000 transactions. It's actually quite unbelievable. And also we've registered, also in Tajiri, also again, we've registered new users from
Uh-huh.
across the globe. Actually, as we go on, I'll read for you the new signups that we've had last week globally. This is new users outside the country. So in a few minutes, I'll be able to share with you.
That is amazing. That is so cool. Yes, please share all that information with us. So that actually goes perfectly in line with the conversation we are having today, which is looking at innovation amongst the youth, how the youth can feel more empowered within innovation, and how the young people actually need to realize that right now with COVID-19, it is us who will lead the way. I think it's actually a very great opportunity for young people to step up. So instead of us being sad or watching too much Netflix, it's an opportunity for young people to create the world that we will have post coronavirus. And I'm so glad that you're one of those people, man. Riding the wave. Go,
Thank
Brian.
you very much. We did it
How
for the
has it
nation, for the
been?
love of the nation.
Yeah, man. How has it been for you? Since the whole thing happened with whole staying at home and not being able to go to social gatherings, what has been your experience? Because work-wise, you've actually gotten busier.
Yes, for us, for me personally, I'd say it's a learning experience, because you see, we always learn from new experiences.
Yeah.
Once we learn from familiar experiences, then we always get familiar results. But now that you're being pushed in the heads to experience something that has never been recorded before in our history, in the history of our generation, I
True.
think it has made us become a little bit more innovative, a little bit more creative in terms of, because at the end of the day, business has to still move on, and we still have to make more sales, we still have to make impact, we still have to reach out to the people, and above all, we still have also to build up our nation, Kenya.
Yeah, thank you. Yes, of most importance, guys. Kenya is not going anywhere. We're also gonna be here after all this is over. So I was doing some reading, and I was looking at some of the young things that people are doing all over the world as we talk about the things that the steps that we take, the things that you actually do. There is a gentleman who is helping with knowledgeability and building awareness of COVID-19. Just opening this document, taking its sweet time.
Yeah, also maybe as you open the document, I just found actually the countries that last week we recorded. In Finland, we had 12 new users. In Netherlands, we had 12 new users. In Austria, we recorded 7 new users. In France, we've recorded 4 new users. In the US, we've recorded 4 new users. Uganda, 2 new users. Qatar, 1. Germany, 1. And Canada, 1.
What? Basically, you're telling me Algeria is taking over, like after.
It's taking over to the, yes, Kenya is.
Kenya's taking over. Yeah.
Yes,
I
Kenya
love
is.
it. Yes, because I mean, if Algeria is busy, then it means Kenyans are prospering. It means people are hiring and people are getting jobs. So that's really good to know.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yes, so the gentleman I was talking about, Nelson Khwaja, he's actually from South Sudan, but what he does is that he's tackling misinformation of COVID-19 and using his organization to do that. I also had, I don't know whether you've heard about this gentleman called Vittorio Fogillo from Switzerland. And what they're doing is they are keeping company with the elderly, which I thought was really, really nice, obviously, because we know coronavirus poses a risk to people that are older. And then I also had Christian Achaleke from Cameroon, who is providing bottles for disinfectants. And then we have Wevin Muganda and Suhail Omar, who are Kenyans, yes. And they are supporting members of the community through their company, where they help ill-prepared and ill-supported people. And they are doing it through Mutual Aid Kenya. But they're basically doing what you're doing as well, essentially making sure that they can provide food, connecting people to health workers if somebody doesn't have access, and helping any families that were ill-prepared for this. And quite frankly, I think that could be everyone. I wasn't prepared. I didn't know we were going to have a global epidemic, so a global pandemic. So it's really good to hear. So in line with that, I want you to talk to me about zero contact food distribution.
Oh, correct.
A very long phrase there, but we don't know what it means. I'm going to help make it your life and tell home people, come on, what wanasikia shy, come on, today we will know. What is zero contact food distribution?
I'm actually very impressed that you've already heard of it. And I'll say this again, as I've told you, that this is a time that we've been pushed to become more innovative, and our creativity levels has gone busted to the banks. And yes, actually, once the COVID lockdown was reported, actually a week before it was made official in our country, we first started by building Learn with Ajiri. It's an online platform where people are able to. It's actually the first open source mass online, the first open source online courses. That is a MOOC, the first one in Africa. Initially, we had initially we had 19 of them in the country, including the Coursera and the rest. But in Africa, we didn't have one. So we just launched that a couple of weeks ago. And in that, we built the first course, the first preparedness course for COVID-19. And we are targeting shoppers and how can you keep yourself safe during this COVID-19? And I can show you, this is one of our graduates. Once you do the course, you get a certificate to show that you've learned about the COVID-19 and you are aware and you're able to take care of yourself and also take care of your family. And then once we finish developing this again now, because I believe you've seen a lot of CSR has been going around, and and also it was reported also on news that we have had a couple of challenges, including the stampede that happened in Kibera a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
And in response to that, again, the Agiri team, again, under Tribus TSG, we've built the zero contact distribution application that enables companies, organizations, county governments, and all form of parastatals who are willing to do food distribution to communities to be able to carry out that operation without having to physically meet or to physically have to talk or to assemble big crowds of people. So
So how
the
does
application
exactly, sorry for interrupting you, because you're saying zero contact and anyone who's interested in doing food distribution can, use
yes,
the platform to be able to do it. But
yes.
Brian, I have to eat the food when it reaches me and I put it in my mouth. So the question is, how is it zero contact? How exactly does that work for companies who would be interested, or even an individual who would be interested to help with food distribution?
So how it basically works, first we get a list of the beneficiaries and families, and to get this we engage county governments and the
Right.
local administration authorities like the chief of an area. So they help us, and the MCAs and all that, they help us with the list of the beneficiaries and the needy families in the community. And in this, we only require the name of the person and the contact number, the ID, and the place, the location where they stay. Once we have all this information, we feed it into our system. Then
Okay.
the system automatically releases an e-voucher. So this
Okay.
e-voucher then is sent to the phone number of the beneficiary through a text message. So
Fantastic.
whether they have a smartphone or just a normal phone that is not just a normal phone, they are able to get the text. Once they get the text, the details that we put in the text is the date of collection, place of collection, and time of collection. So all this information we share it to our beneficiary, and once the day comes when they are supposed to come and redeem their e-voucher, they are required to come with their national ID and their phone and the message, the text message. So what it does, we release food items that are equal to the amount of e-vouchers that we have already released. So if we have a target of maybe reaching out to 1,000 families, like what we're doing today, what we'll do is release 1,000 food items. Once we do that, so this beneficiary will come with the text, and now we have the Agiri teams who are assisting us. So they pick that voucher, they feed it to the system, then the system gives them the official name, the ID number of this person. So they use that to cross-check whether this is the person, of course, with
And
the
they can
1.5
just collect it.
social distancing. We keenly observe that. And once we confirm this is the person who is supposed to pick the food and is really on time, because you have to be on time, because that means if you delay for 5 minutes, you'll meet with someone else or will be eating up someone else's time to come do the delivery. Once we confirm, we hand over the food and we keep track. That actually it has also been very helpful, because the zero contact distribution system is already being used by 4 of our counties. It's already been used in Laikipia County, Kilifi County, Nairobi County, and then this week we'll be doing Naivasha County. So all these counties, it's been even easier for the county government and partners to be able to, to account for food distributed.
I like it. In fact, if there's anyone here who thinks that their county needs help or who would like to contribute to the food distribution, tweet us using the hashtag KTN Life and Style, or DM me, or talk to their Agiri team, and we can get this on the road, because this needs to be done in more counties. That's awesome to hear.
To mention, just forgot to mention, the SMS, the text SMS alerts, they have been sponsored by both the county governments. Like, for example, like Kipia County, they sponsored the SMS alerts. But
Nice.
for both for Nairobi and Kilifi, Centum Foundation is doing that. And also much thanks to, I know he's watching, our business mentor and also our supporter number one for the youth, Dr. Chris Kirubi. Thank you very much for the support that he has given us during this season.
That's amazing. No, it's true. It's really important. And I think this is a time where companies and individuals need to ask themselves, what can I do? Even if I'm not able to maybe do 1,000 families or 1,000 people food distribution, maybe I can do one. And that's still something. And we need each other right now. That's really good to hear. Let me ask you, as you're a young person, I think your company is quite innovative, but what has been the one thing that you feel has been very shocking to you about the social distancing and having to work from home or even in the workspace? What's one thing you are just like, hey, hata kama ni corona, I wouldn't have expected to see this?
So actually, what shocked me is actually, it was yesterday. I was actually listening to someone, and the person who was preaching there mentioned something that made me actually stand still. I had actually to, breathe in, out, and I even started calling my family members because it was like, you see, people have been praying for things to go back to normal.
True.
But we've been praying the wrong prayer.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So what prayer are we supposed to be praying?
You're praying for things to go back to normal. What does the word back means? In short, you're praying for tomorrow, but referring to yesterday.
Yes, want to go backwards.
Like
You want to go ahead.
Things to go back to 2019. We want things to go back to Monday, and we are on a Tuesday. We want things to go back to Tuesday, and we are on Friday. So once he mentioned that, he corrected people and said, I think it's time that people need to wake up and start making the right prayers. We should be saying, we are looking forward to normal. Because of
it's literally a one-word difference, but it is true. You can't pray to God to go back to normal. If he's never taken you back in the past before, he will not start today.
Imagine. And he went further and said, don't forget, your normal to you might be, it's actually not might, but it's actually someone else's gold.
That's true. And then something else that actually came up and it's made me really happy. Thanks so much for sharing that sermon, that word. That's high key. Is also that even though we are talking about post-corona and we're trying to plan for post-corona, life is still happening right now. You can still work and be productive and do the things you want to do right now. It's just in a different setting. I think we're all took a pause, but now that it's been weeks, it's like, guys, there's no more pause. Life is continuing. It's just this is the new normal.
We actually adjusting.
Life goes on and time waits for no one. But I like that. So let's stop praying for going back to normal and change our prayers. And we start asking, Lord, please.
Looking forward to normal.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the normal when I reach there.
Yeah, looking forward to the normal.
Oh my God, that's so good. Has there been an opposite? Have you had an experience where you're like, oh wow, it's interesting, but because of Corona, there's something that has made you happy or something that surprised you? Of course, number one is Ajiri is busy,
Yes. And actually, even I think with now us being limited to movement, I think we've started also realizing we have some different gifts that we didn't know. And if we were not quarantined, we would have never realized that. And even it has put us also closer with families, because at times you find yourself, I'm not going to work today. I'm just in the house. How about I call my dad? How about I call my uncle? And I think in a way, it's bringing back the community back together. And also, like we've seen again, most of the companies, county governments, they're all doing the feeding program and the CSR and all that. And I think that again is sending a very special message to the world that we all need each other, despite which continent you're from. We can all be brought down to one prayer and or one hope, message of hope that Corona just needs to go.
Yeah, I agree. Actually, my mother said something really awesome, and I was talking to her. My mom said, I've already said goodbye to Corona. I'm just waiting. It hasn't left yet, but me, I have said bye. She's like, we need to just be like, okay, this thing is here, it has come, but we now have
And
solutions,
then,
we have precautions. As long as you follow the government and WHO
yeah.
guidelines, it will just pass. That's what I believe. I hope.
And then also to add on, I also feel to our generation especially,
Yes.
it has instilled the virtue of discipline because actually I was very shocked that guys can meet curfew hours. By 7, everyone is home. Then you're like,
Yeah.
while we were being brought up, guys even getting home by 7, it was a problem. It only took the government to make sure people get home by 7.
I'm telling you, that is so true. Where we used to live when I was growing up,
Yeah,
we used to use the street lights at the time when
yeah,
you have to be home. So they'd come
yeah,
on. But even in other places where there was no street lights, they had the rule, like the time. And still,
yeah,
we used to be disciplined, you're beaten, you're given chores because umekatana ukusikiliza. Now these
yes,
days, no
yes.
one is asking anyone, no one is calling the other. Just know if you're found outside, you're in shida yako. Be home by 7.
Imagine, imagine. So I believe there's a lot that is happening, and actually, I must say, um, of course, we it's with heartfelt condolences for those that have lost their lives globally,
Yes.
but also I believe even watching news, the little time that we watch news, just to make sure that it doesn't build up fear on us.
Yeah.
We have to be thankful because we have had the cases of the cases of people who have recovered. I think that is sending an amazing hope to the nation and also to the entire world.
That's
And
true.
we have to stay optimistic. We have to see the positive and just avoid make ourselves automatically blind on any negative vibe. And then also I believe also I feel you don't know, this corona in a way has really made me happy, especially to my generation, because even now you notice guys are not going out anymore. The guys too, they're just meeting either online on Instagram live,
I think Corona is going to change how our generation looks at time. And I think that's a
yeah.
really important thing, that now we know you can truly make time for the things you think are important. You can still work. Um,
Absolutely.
and that's good to know. Unfortunately, we've run out of time, man. Brian, me and you can talk forever, apparently.
Come on.
But before we go, I would really like
Yes.
you to tell people how they can get onto Ajiri, how they can sign on to the platform, and if you'd like to share the social media handles as well. If somebody would like to have a chat with you or talk to Ajiri online, how can they do so?
So yeah, as Ajiri, we are in all online platform. On Instagram, of course, it's Ajiri_KE. Twitter again, Ajiri_KE. Facebook, the same Ajiri_KE. LinkedIn also, LinkedIn, we are on just Ajiri with the RY. And also to be able to sign up on the platform, all you need to do, just go to your browser, be it Safari or Google Chrome, and type Ajiri with the RY, as you see on my t-shirt, and sign up. And also learn with Ajiri again. You just go again and type learn with Ajiri and start building your course there, and start even going through the COVID-19 preparedness course, get a certificate. I believe that in future that will be a requirement in any application. Actually, it has been a requirement during the ongoing recruitment
Yes.
that we've been asking. We always ask,
Cool.
have you done any training in terms of, the COVID-19? And also feel free to follow me personally. I'm at Brian Mwau, and also Centum Investment. Thanks again to follow also our CEO, Dr. James Moria. Is always the best, and always read his tweets. And also our business mentor, Dr. Chris Kirubi. Always follow his Twitter account at C Kirubi, and always read and stay motivated as a youth. And know, as a youth, we own the nation at the moment, and we are the change that you want to see.
Today, I have had the wonderful honor of talking to Brian Mwau, my fellow youth dem. And thank you so much for being an innovator in your own right. I am actually going to go onto the Ajiri platform and do the COVID-19 preparedness course, because it's already started. Please, look out my name.
I'll provide you your certificates.
I'm working at home. So we've said now we have nothing but time. So thank you so much, Brian Mwau. Coming up next, guys, is Jamal. He's going to be taking us through some fun times. KTN Life and Style Virtual keeps going. Otherwise, I have been your host, Susan Jaroge. You can get me on my social medias where I go under Sura Common. Yes, Sura. And the word common. That's on Facebook, on Twitter, and on Instagram. Otherwise, you guys stay blessed. And it's a goodbye from me and Brian. Bye-bye. Cool.